And welcome, race fans. It is round 11 of the RIL Daredevil Turbo Series, coming to you from Laguna, Seca, home of the Pass, simply known as the Pass. Alex Zanardi full sends it there on Brian Hurd on the last lap of the 96 season, snatching a sure victory out of the hands of Brian Hurd. That would have been his first win, and making the legend of Zanardi that just much bigger. Well, we are here about 3 minutes, 13 seconds left. We have a few cars still left on the grid that are still taking some time. There's Team Renovo and the Savian Ragster, currently provisionally P1 with a broken nose there. All right, everybody, how you doing? This is Gary with the Raceverse coverage of round 11 here at Laguna Seca, virtual Laguna Seca. Looks like pretty dry country here. If you're gonna smoke, don't discard your ashes responsibly, but better yet, just don't smoke. But that place looks like a tinderbox right now. 2 minutes, 21 seconds. Your provisional pull is Savian Ragster, followed by Dan Mack, who's back to see us. Who won the first couple races starting off the season. Your points leader, Alex Vanasant, VDS right there, currently in third. Right behind him in the points, Wes Shire, currently provisionally P4. Through the rest of the lineup, Yoshikawa, Curtis Fell, Cosgrove, Spath, and last year's Turbo champion, Watson, making a visit to see us this week. Teeter, and also not taking time as of yet, is Janie, Houston, and Heinekamp. About 1 minute and 45 left here in the session. Let's take a look at the results from the last race. At last time you saw us, we were at virtual Long Beach. There it is. Alex Vanasant with the win. Savian Ragster P2. Yoshikawa P3. Curtis P4. Spath P5. Cosgrove, Fell, Teeter, Heinekamp, Houston, Donchak, and Obenauer running out the remainder of the field. Here's the point situation. We got about 1 minute and 15 seconds left here in qualifying. Alex Vanasant is your points leader. You see he has that little margin there over Wes Shire. Wes Shire has held the lead for much of the season. Fell to P2 for the first time since then. After last race, as you see, is Alex with P1 or the +1, Wes Shire at the -1 there. James Curtis still maintaining third place, only 3 points behind Wes Shire. Simon Fell is 201, currently holding in P4, and then we got a pretty tight battle between 5th and 6th, as well as a good battle between 7th through 10th. Getting ready to wrap up the qualifying session. Currently only seeing 2 cars on the track at the moment. Getting ready to end the session, start gridding up for tonight's 34-lap event. Word to me says that pretty much as soon as they start the race, the pit window will open to hit pit road, get a refill or fill, top it off or whatever, and you'll be able to make it to the end, apparently just by default. There on the tanks, there's just not enough to go 34. There's like enough to maybe go 30, I was told. And so that's why they'll have to hit pit road one more time before being able to finish this race up.
I've been assigned driver's meeting duties.
Oh, and we got a little extra audio, so we will...
as usual, leader goes on green on the start. Don't worry about it.
We will turn that off.
Beyond that, have fun.
Very, very laid back, as you see, as you hear. There we go. We are back. Let's take a look at the field here. Your pole sitter is Savian Ragster. Let me get a better shot. There we go. And let's get the starting grid up on the grid here for you. Ragster P1, Dan Mack P2, Alex Van de Sant P3, Westshire P4, Yoshikawa P5, Curtis P6, Simon Fell P7, Cosgrove P8, Spath P9, James Watson, like I said, last year's champion with the #1, making his first visit this season. Let's call it a cameo appearance. I think he'll be joining us in the booth, I believe, next week at Gateway P10. Alex Teeter P11, Michael Janey No Time in P12. Matt Houston No Time P13, Daniel Smith No Time for P14, and Michael Hannekamp, probably with the largest fan group here, besides the Renovo guys, P15, and he rounds out the remainder of the field. Pace car is already off. We will follow the leaders here. Coming to green flag. Green flag is in the air. We are underway. Yoshikawa with an aggressive move on the outside of Van de Sant, crossing the start-finish line right now and coming down into the Andretti hairpin. Going downhill. When they come through the turn, they will go downhill more into the valley floor. Good pass there by Van de Sant on the inside there of Dan Mack. Oh, almost a little contact there. Maybe even contact between Dan Mack and Alex Van de Sant. Van de Sant definitely wants to err on the side of the safe side here. If these guys are going to race them and they're not full-time participants, might just want to let them go. He has a championship in mind. Here comes Yoshikawa right behind him. Side by side here into turn 5, going uphill now to the top of the mountain, so to speak. When they reach the top of the mountain, it will be the corkscrew where they all plummet downhill. Through turn 6, so far everything's looking pretty good. Ragster into the corkscrew. Down and through. Here's Westshire getting a good look on Yoshikawa. Right behind him is Curtis and Simon Fell. Cosgrove, Spath, Janey round up your top 10. See that little battle right there. Cosgrove, Spath, and Janey also getting his nose in there. Daniel Smith with a 95 coming down into the Andretti hairpin. Hard on the brakes, sliding up there. Careful, fellas. Oh, Cosgrove had to check up. Janey almost got into the back end of him there. That's going to open the door for Matt Houston to get a run on Janey. Oh, we got a little bit of contact. Oh, hold your line, hold your line. Ooh. James Watson barely sneaks through that one. Let's see if Cosgrove back underway. Doesn't look like he has much damage. Heinekamp might have, yeah, he is missing the front wing there, so he is, looks like he might have been a little innocent victim there. He's going to have to exercise a fast repair, get that taken care of next time by. Daniel Smith also looks like had the bulk of the damage there. He is sitting right now on pit road, missing an entire corner of his car. Not sure what happened there. Maybe we could take a look back in time a little bit and see what happened. Yeah, it's fortunately a little driver error. Got a little wide there. Oh, Hannekamp just kind of runs into the back of Cosgrove there. Unfortunate all the way around. Here comes Heinekamp in to get that front wing fixed. I don't know if Cosgrove or Dan Smith is maybe had the fast repair unchecked and he's having to sit there and get the long repair, or he might have punched out. I don't know yet, but we will take you back up to the front and go to real time. There is your leader, Savion Ragster. He has built up quite the gap right now. 3 seconds over VDS and Dan Mack. Thanks for everybody watching from home. We got 9 watchers. Thanks for being a part of, making us a part of your Thursday evening. Feel free to say hi, drop something in the chat if you want to see your favorite racer, driver, what have you. Favorite car, if you even have that, point it out. We'll make sure it gets on the stream for you. Want to thank everybody watching at the Daredevil Taproom Restaurant and Brewery. Thanks a lot for their patronage, and also want to remind you to eat a lot, but drink responsibly. Here is really your closest battle right now at the front between Dan Mack and Yoshikawa. They are separated by just a hair. 8 tenths. Yoshikawa 4 tenths. Coming downhill off the corkscrew through 8 and 9, coming into 10 right here. Pretty much you could take these fairly fast. These cars will use every inch of those rumble strips. We'll see that through the course of tonight's action. AC Westshire going NASCAR wide there on on turn 11 here at Laguna Seca. This is not a very good, very easy course to drive. This is a very technical course. As a person that's not the most keen on road courses, this is ranks right up there as one of the most difficult road courses for me, natural road courses. Corners look a lot faster than they are sometimes, especially right here, coming down into turn 5. The one that's really tricky is turn 6, and I'm not sure it's just the way that the track is scanned, but if we watch him come almost launches the car a little bit, definitely makes it light. We're coming down what I would call the back stretch, coming into, there is the bottom side of the corkscrew. The Renovo Zebras. I like that. I was calling them Tiger Force earlier in the season until I found out the Renovo and all that stuff. Always become more familiar with your cars and competitors as the season goes on. Been a great season seeing a lot of these folks, a lot of these regulars that have also come back and chat to say hello. I want to thank everybody for showing up every weekend or every week with us. Every Thursday for the last about 3 months now. Let's go back a little bit further to P5. There's Westshire in that Homestead coffee car. Doesn't want to get too far behind, or at least let Alex get too far ahead there in the purple 317. But sadly, after this, we got one more race. It'll be Championship Thursday. Championship week in the RIL next week, where the Schaefer Series will decide a championship on Wednesday. Actually, championship is already decided. Dakota DeMay is your champion over there. He has secured enough of a advantage to, well, he doesn't really have to grid if he doesn't want to next week. And he has secured the #1 for next season. And we'll have the same situation going on here. I think we'll actually decide the championship here at Gateway. There's Wes getting around Heinekamp there. As we'll decide a championship hopefully next week at Gateway as well on Championship Thursday. A little bit further back here is Michael Janey in P6. The 113. right into the helmets right there as they come down the backstretch, preparing to lock. Oh, he locked up the brakes, hitting the brakes there for the corkscrew. It is downhill all the way to this final turn. Then they're back to, I guess we call the bottom of the track, where they will make the final turn off of turn 11 down the front stretch. Oh! West Shire off a little bit there. Let's see what happened. Oh, he just comes in a little hot. Back end locks up, comes right on around. Hits the excessive runoff area there, no damage, just to the ego. Loses a position on the track, gets going, back underway. And stays out in front of James Curtis, who is also in battle directly with him in the championship. Going back up to the front. Maxer, a second and a half over VDS. VDS slowly reeling him in. Everybody on lap 7. So we got the 2 pit stops by Heinekamp and Dan Smith. Looked like Dan Smith might be done. No, he's still showing on the track. So he must have unchecked fast repair and did it the old-fashioned way. There he is, back under power at the top of the corkscrew. Here he is downhill. Drivers equate it to a roller coaster. A little further ahead, there's Michael Hannekamp on the main straight. Car is all repaired. Logan Spath right there in the Stowe car. He's coming down to turn 11 to make a turn onto the main straight to complete yet another lap. The Ohio driver. John Cosgrove recovering, trying to, from that lap 1, well, maybe lap 2 incident. Because he might not have to stop again. If he's not, well, he didn't stop at all. Don't know if he has any damage or if the car just played transformer on us and snapped right back into place. He is showing some damage on the side pod, so this is not a very aero-sensitive track. Let's see if it is holding them in down. It's going to be Spath is going to reel him in here. We'll see. It looks like everybody is ready to make that first stop, and they'll be good to go to the distance. See, there's that little dip right there I was telling you about in turn 6. Kind of unloads the car a little bit. Front of Cosgrove is Teeter. Teeter coming through the corkscrew. Corkscrew is very unnatural for these cars. Cars feel very squirrely the entire time through the corkscrew. Much like the regular Indy cars, these do not like to bend, so that rapid descent and change in pitch of the road does not sit well with these cars too well. In the top 10 and knocking on the door of your defending champ, there's a battle between Matt Houston and James Watson right now. This is the closest battle on the racetrack. Watson about 11 seconds back from P8 Simon Fell. Fastest lap is Alex Van de Sande with a 1:19.688. That is your purple lap. He's a little bit further at the front. We are a little bit mid-pack right now, watching the battle between Matt Houston in the 66 and James Watson in the number 1. He is your defending Turbo Series champion from last season. Last season, they ran a combination of the PM18 and the IR18 on ovals and road courses. This year, of course, is dedicated solely to the PM18. Of course, James Watson is in the Schaefer series. He made the long trip over from Spa last night, where we were, back over here to the extreme West Coast and NorCal to make this race. Can you imagine having to do that for real? That's a heck of a lot of traveling, man. And to think to jump in another car and do another race, After just being in Belgium and flying all the way back across half the world, pretty much, to get back to San Francisco and to get it back up here. Oof. Totally different type of tracks, though. Different cars, different type of track. He finished, I think he finished in the top 5, but he's currently P2 in the championship points, if not P3. I gotta go look that back up, but had a very good season as a rookie season in the Schaefer Cup. Had a win right there, right in front of him. Unfortunately, didn't quite work out in his favor when the series visited Fontana. The super speedway races for these cars, for the R18s, tend to turn into, especially if they go for long green runs, they turn into mileage races very quickly. Down in front of Watson, here is Simon Fell, knocking on the door of James Curtis. This is quickly becoming a closer battle on the racetrack as well. I'll flip the camera a little forward there to James Curtis. He has a win this season, a couple podiums. Strong beginning of the season, opened the door really for his current points position, the top 3. Double 8 there, Surge Energy Drink, sponsored PM18. Still have the time of the race, so let's show you the number of laps we got left. Coming up to on lap 12 of 34, lap 13 of 34 that just started right there. Want to thank everybody for watching and again making us a part of your Thursday night here on Raceverse. You just joined us. This is round 11, or like people like to say to make them sound a lot smarter, the penultimate round of the Daredevil Turbo Series championship. Or next week we will be Championship Thursday at Gateway, where we will decide a champion for the second season of the Turbo Series. There will be a Season 3. If you're interested in running that Season 3, you might want to pay close attention to the RIL Discord server. You can join that by finding the league in the league search there on iRacing. You can apply to join there, and then I'll also have a link to the Discord server where you can network with your fellow competitors for the next season and find out more information when the schedule is released and all that good stuff when it is released here sometime here in the future. There will be a Season 3, just don't know exactly when or where. Flipping forward to Westshire, coming there off of turn 10, now into turn 11, where he had that moment a couple of laps ago. It's starting to get a little slippery for these guys. Just watching kind of West power through these corners. Looks like it's a little slidey on the back. Track temp is 132. It is pretty hot. Air temp ambient is 79 with a slight wind coming, I believe, from the west at 2 miles per hour. That's not much of an impact to these cars, even with the elevation changes. But the 132 degrees track temperature, see right there. 132 degrees track temperature is a game changer. And he is currently 6 seconds behind Michael Janey. Michael Janey is 4 seconds behind Yoshikawa. We'll pan forward. Here's P5 going across the start-finish line, starting lap 15 at 34. We are quickly approaching the halfway point of this race. Other than that really incident we saw there with Shire in turn 11 and the episode with Cosgrove and Smith that later also picked up Heinekamp between turns 3 and 4 on the first couple of laps there. We've been pretty much incident free as everyone is kind of biding their time, turning their laps, and we are getting close to probably pit stops here soon. I don't know if these guys are going to take it to the end and then pit when they absolutely have to. It's quick there through that turn 6 complex. Yoshikawa using those rumble strips to widen his road a little bit. You'll see a lot of the guys be doing that. They will be using as much of that rumble strip as possible to make that road and that turn as wide as possible. Here's the Yoshikawa P4 going through turn 11 and getting ready to complete another lap. He is 5 seconds to the negative on McDonald. McDonald actually is now, let's go back up front. We got a battle right here. McDonald and Van de Sant. This is quickly gathered up. I don't know if Van de Sant had an issue and that closed the gap, but 0.2 of a second separate the two right now. We're on lap 16 of 34, so we are right at the halfway point. You hear those tires, they're definitely worn out. Little puffs of smoke as those tires clip the dirt there, hitting the those apexes of the quick turns there through the corkscrew. And there's the first of your pitting right there. Alex Van de Sant says, I've had enough. I am going to pit right now. And he is going to try to make it, everyone's got to do one stop, but he's going to say, you know what? I'm going to do this one right at the middle and try to make up ground on fresh tires while everyone else is sliding around. So we'll watch him all the way down into his stall as he hits his marks. This is your championship leader. New set of Cooper tires. They call those Cooper tires like hockey pucks. They're really hard compound tires. Back underway, a very narrow pit road out. These cars, it's not so bad. The R18s, it feels like you're filling up every bit of that access road. Coming around there and Andretti hairpin back on the racing circuit, rejoins ahead of Shire in P5. Alex Van de Sant, or excuse me, right behind Shire, excuse me, in P5. He is P6, right in front of Curtis. Let's see who else is going to make that turn on the pit road. I'm sure Ragster didn't see him hit pit road. McDonald certainly did. Those are teammates right there. And I'm willing to bet that they are communicating. Is Ragster going to hit pit road or not? No, he is not. He is going to continue on. Here's Dan Mack, who's reeling in a Ragster. He is not going to hit pit road. Here comes Yoshikawa. He's not going to go either. Janey, nope, not either. And we pay him back a little bit further. Here comes West Shire. See if he maybe makes that turn on the pit road among your leaders. Nope, he does not. And of course, there's Alex right there coming through turn 10. And he is the first of the cars that have made a regular scheduled pit stop. So he is done. He is good to go. He needs to reel in those guys in front, though. And that's what he's probably planning on doing right now. Get those fresh tires. Van de Sant is almost 30 seconds behind the leaders right now. Simon Fell on the pit road. It's a weird pit road entry. It's a 90-degree turn to get back onto get onto the pit road by coming off the racing surface. He hits his stall up on the jacks there. New Cooper tires down and away, full tank. He's good to go to the end. Gotta watch yourself coming out of the pits here through the access road. Gonna come out right in front of Heinekamp. Got a comfortable spacing there. Kind of camp, no real issue to each other. Dan Mack on pit road. There he is. Not a good angle. He's very quickly. I don't know if they just went fuel only on that one and decided to not go with tires. 4-second stop, 4-second in the box. That is going to play a role, and he's going to come out right next to Alex Van de Sant. Oh, we're going to have a battle right here. This is going to be great. I don't think he changed tires. I think he just put in more fuel, and I think he's going to try to go the distance by making it a short as stop as possible. So he has fresh tires versus used tires right here is your first straight up battle coming through turn 5. Let's keep an eye on this group right here, right in front of the West Shire. Also in the same boat. West has not stopped at all yet. He's looking to stop here. Alex putting the heat on Dan Mack. He knows he needs to get around them. He might not know that he not taking tires. He just knows he came out of the pits. Ragster on pit road. Oh, we can't see him from there. There he is in his box. Long pit. Did we speed? Oh no. Oh no. We might have had a speeding penalty here. Oh no, then West Shire is away. So Ragster on pit road, it looks like we have a bit of a penalty. He is not happy. Can't blame him, he's down in the way. That is a pit road speeding penalty right there. Wow. Yoshikawa is currently your leader. Right behind him, this is your closest battle on the racetrack. It is Michael Janey. Now Ragster, 47.7, so that was a 7-second pit stop and a 40-second hold. Total time of 1:09 on pit road. That is going to cost him the victory. There's no doubt about it right there. So I believe your battle for this race is right here. Dan Mack and Alex Van de Sant. And to be honest, I do not know if Alex knows that it was fuel only for Dan Mack, who was in the box for only 4 seconds. Maybe Alex can bide his time. Or maybe Alex just maybe watch these tires go off even more. Or maybe they found out in testing that the tires don't go off as much as they thought they did. James Curtis on pit road. He's now off pit road, back on the access road, down and away. 7-second stop. Standard service. Hit your brakes there coming into that turn there. Don't want to scoot off into the dirt and then all of a sudden get an unsafe pit exit black flag. That'll be a little painful. Right behind him is Ragster. We have a tight battle here at the front now as Janey is right there on the backside of Yoshikawa, coming down to the Andretti hairpin. Neither one have made their stop yet. Neither one have made their stop. They're on lap 21 of their stint. We figure anywhere in the neighborhood of 26 to 30 for a stint. James Curtis back on pit road. He must have had an incident. Oh, yes, he did. Let's go a little bit forward here in time. What happened? Cold tires. Janie is your leader. Oh, exactly what happened. Cold tires. And that's going to hurt him. I'm sure his steering's already off there. Nope. I don't think he's going to go toe. Now he's going to go toe. Yeah. It's painful. So maybe we'll catch the pass by Janie here before we go to live. Yoshikawa just pulls right on over. So he decided he's not going to make a fight out of it. They still need the pit. Yoshikawa dropped back about a second now. It's still the fight is between McDonald and Van de Sant, and there is a big gap between those two now. I wonder if Alex had a moment. Let's see if we can maybe, yeah, okay, there it is. Coming into the corkscrew with Teeter. Clear of Teeter. Down the hill. Oh, yeah, just clips that dirt, and that's going to do it. And, well, unless Dan Mack has an issue, maybe even calling it a little bit early, don't want to jinx the guy, but I believe this is going to be, when the pit stops are taken care of, this is going to be your leader and probably your eventual race winner as a result of just simply going for fuel only, no tires, as he's got about 10 laps left here in this race. Still Janie and Yoshikawa not pitted yet. Janie has 1.2 seconds over Yoshikawa. Now, question is, did they save enough in the back maybe to go the entire distance? Again, I heard 26 to 30. They have not reached that 26 lap mark yet. Let's go through real quickly. Your top 10 is Michael Janey, who is still yet to stop. Yoshikawa also still yet to stop. Dan Mack has completed his stop, and he is good to go to the end on fuel. Tires will probably be old, but we'll ask him if we get to the interview portion with him what those tires were like. Alex Van de Sant with an issue coming downhill off the corkscrew while he was on the gearbox of Dan Mack. It's going to cost him right now, currently sitting in a very comfortable P2 with 10 seconds over West Shire. Ragster with the speeding penalty on pit road was your early leader, is now settled back into P6. Matt Houston, who started deep into the field, P7. Simon Fell, P8. James Watson, P9. And Logan Spath in P10. Rounding out the remainder of the race, Cosgrove, Teeter, Smith, Curtis, and Heinekamp are the top 15 there. That is the 15 cars that have taken a green flag tonight. Keeping an eye on our leader, Michael Janey. He will have to stop here at some point. We will don't know exactly when. Currently right behind Space. There's Space. It's Spath. He was actually he wrote me to for the longest time, even I think in another series I was calling him by Spath, or Space, but Spath is actually how he says he wants his last name said. You know what? I hate it when people mispronounce mine too, so that's the way it's gonna be. Whoa, Janie, a little squirrely there under power, coming down out of the corkscrew where the cars are light. He obviously has no problem. Well, he's coming to pit road. I would say he has no problem handling these cars like that. Brings it around. I think Yoshikawa's in right behind him. So now here is down off the corkscrew. Dan Mack coming down through 10 and now 11. Is Yoshikawa or Janie going to make that short stop? Yoshikawa did. Janie did, excuse me. Is it going to be close? We're going to now, didn't want to, wow, great move on his part. Fuel only, 4-second stop, 4.6-second stop, actually. Brings himself out in front of what we thought the leader would be on a fuel-only stop here with 9 to go. Great call. And I, as teammates, I don't know how much they actually share pit strategy. Pretty much in my team relationships, we share strategies right across the board for everybody. If you want to follow another team, you can. Another teammate, you can. If you want to do your own, you can. How will these guys survive on these used tires? Yoshikawa, first car with the freshest tires currently on the track. Can he really? He's making it around Cosgrove there, just on the base of the corkscrew. Team Renovo looking at a good day here. Currently occupying first, second, and sixth. They've had some good days in the past. They've had some bad days in the past where we had a couple cars up front and for whatever reason they lost contact or had an issue. 2 cars in the top. Wow, going wide there. Yoshikawa. Trying to carry as much speed as possible through the Andretti hairpin. Going back up to the front. It's tight, tight, tight. Actually, McDonald made his way around Janey, so let's take a look at that pass here real quick. Don't want to deprive people if we got time to show it. Oh, and that's why. These used tires, they're pushing. I mean, they are teammates, but they are fighting each other. Look at that. Good car control. Had to come out of the throttle. And that opens the door there for Dan Mack. Dan Mack, and again, gets the car off. Janey gets the car off a little bit on the left sides there, onto the dirt. Has to let go out of the throttle, regain control, lets his teammate by, just tucks in behind him, and now the leader is Dan Mack, who we thought would be the leader. Janey's not letting them get away. Right back up to the front here. 8 laps to go, starting 7 laps to go this time by. Dan Mack taking a very defensive inside position there into the turns. Once again, you are watching the Daredevil Turbo Series from Laguna Seca on Raceverse. This is round 11. I am Gary, joining all of you who are joining me tonight here watching this great action right now. Basically based upon pit strategy is what got these guys close right here, and they're slugging it out with some very worn tires. They might say that they've only been going for one 9-lap stint, another 2-lap stint, but they have been on their tires for the complete distance. They have not changed them at all. I want to thank Daredevil Brewery and all those watching from the tap room and at the brew house there for watching. And want to remind all the patrons of drink responsibly, eat a lot. The Daredevil Brewery is a fixture of the Indy craft beer scene. In Daredevil's main brewery and tap room is located directly across Main Street from AJ Foyt Racing. He protects himself. It's a short walking distance from IMS main gates. Then they also have the beer hall and restaurant up near Keystone at the crossing off of Nora and Keystone Parkway there. One of the Daredevil Brewery is one of the largest production breweries in Indiana, and they are number 1 IPA is called Liftoff IPA. It's the number 1 selling Indiana-made IPA. Liftoff is a classic West Coast style IPA, so they'd probably be drinking it out here at Laguna Seca if they had it. 2018 Indiana Brewer Cup winner, distributing 4-packs, 12-packs on draft across the state of Indiana, and are working on other states and distributions as we speak. Daredevil Brewery, thank you a lot for being the title sponsor for the Turbo Series this season. Maybe we'll see them next season as well. 6 laps to go, coming to 5 to go this time by. Now I just got to wonder who's stalking who here. Janie biding his time, or is Dan Mack actually pushing that car to the limit to keep it in front of Janie? We'll see here. Taking a look on the outside, coming through turn 3. Short straightaway going into turn 4. Get a little bit of a run using the draft here. Now take a look on the outside, not going to be there. Going through turn 5, uphill. Really try to take a look in 6. It'll be a really dangerous place to do it. Maybe he'll make an attempt at the pass. We'll see. Nope, I don't think it's going to happen this time. Nope, not in the corkscrew. I gotta imagine at some point that that will be renamed the Zanardi Curves or something like that. I'm surprised it isn't already. Zanardi, one of the greatest IndyCar drivers. I try to think of, we were talking about this a little while ago with some in some other broadcasts we did, trying to think of some of the great IndyCar drivers that never drove at Indianapolis. And Zanardi, I believe, is one of those. I want to say Greg Moore is another. Almost thought Andre Ribeiro might not have, but he actually did real good his rookie season at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Was real strong in that particular race until he had some issue befuddle him. They were driving those early versions of that Honda engine. Of course, he is the first winner of that Honda engine back in 96, I think, there at New Hampshire on the oval. Again, if you got other names of great IndyCar drivers that never got a chance to race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, feel free to drop them in chat. I don't know if Mark Blundell might be one of those as well. I think he definitely was in the IndyCar series, but I don't think he drove in Indianapolis. When they went to I think he went to FedEx Kart Series. JD, great car control. Do a bit of a research project on that. Great IndyCar drivers that never drove at Indianapolis. Of course, now since these series have unified the kart FedEx history, championship, champ car, open wheel, whatever they eventually call themselves there, many iterations of a name towards the end of their lifetime, that is all now under the IndyCar banner. Some of those records, especially the consecutive championships by Sebastian Bourdais, and now we have lost Michael Janey. What happened to Michael Janey? He is back up into the corkscrew. Let's see what happened. Oh, getting loose right there at the bottom of the hill. That opens the door. Yoshikawa. Yoshikawa on by. Now Yoshikawa is now in P2. Yoshikawa is actually reeling these guys in. 3 seconds now. It was 4 seconds just not too long ago. 3.7 to Dan Mack. 2 laps to go. These new tires, newer tires. Will he have time? We will watch him run down the leader. 3.5 seconds. He can see him. quickly through the corkscrew. 2.8 seconds, under 3. I don't think he's going to have enough time. It's going to be a mistake by Dan Mack to allow him to really close the door. But he is going to reel him in very aggressively. Coming to the white flag. 2.6. Down to the final lap. Wow, making that wide turn there into the Andretti hairpin. Great move. Reeling him in. 2.1. Took that turn right there. That shaved off 0.4 of a second. 2.1 now to the leader. Look at him use those rumble strips to make that turn entry so much wider. 2 seconds, 1.9. Half a lap to go, coming uphill. Dan Mack, last lap into the corkscrew. Downhill, 1.8. 1.6, but he's going to run out of time. Too little, too late. The last road course of the season is going to Team Renovo, who wins, and Dan Mack gets another road course victory this season. Yoshikawa P2 and Michael Janey in P3. That rounds out your podium. Here comes Alex Vanessant P4, and he does finish ahead of Wes Shire. So that makes the championship gap just a little bit wider. Here's Ragster in P6, and I'm sure he's going to have a very, very frustrated post-race for him, as a speeding penalty basically ripped victory straight from his jaws. So let's take a look at the final results. Your winner, Dan Mack. P2 is Yoshikawa. P3, Janey. Your championship leader is P4, and he has one race to go. P5 is your championship challenger, Wes Shire, also with one race to go. Ragster, Houston, Watson, Fell, and Spath round out your top 10. Cosgrove, Teeter, Curtis, Smith, and Heinekamp rounding out your top 5, and I don't think we have a second page here. No, we do not. So that's it, just a 15. So let's dive on into the network booth here and pull up some of these interviews. Currently no one there yet. So while we're waiting for someone to pop in as they're all going through debriefing and whatnot, let's pull up the points here real quick. Alex and Wes, there's a bit more of a balance of power there. Alex made up some more room. James Curtis, he had not a great finish. He fell down to 13th. He's going to lose positions probably to Ragster, I'm willing to bet, and Yoshikawa might even move ahead of him. We'll see. Simon Fell with a pretty consistent run, just keeps hitting top 10s all season long. He might move ahead of Curtis there, so I think Curtis might go as low as 6th. But possibly down to 5th. Michael Janey, of course, with the P3, he will make a move up a little bit there in the standings. So as you see, we'll shake these standings out a little bit more. and we'll actually get a better picture come next week about what we got left to be decided for the championship. We will give a couple more minutes here. I see one popping in. There's Yoshikawa. Don't see Dan Mack or Janie. Team Renovo might be doing their office Zoom party, watch party. They might be entertaining guests over there, so understand. Oh, there's the winner. There's Dan Mack. He's popped in. Let's bring up Yoshikawa. Best finish of the season. Hey there, best finish of the season. Another podium, as we said, getting into the end of the season, racking up those podiums. Man, if you just had a couple more laps left, though, it could have been a P1. Tell us about your race.
That was good. Yeah, I think if I had like 1 or 2 more laps, I probably could have got him because I think he said his tires were falling off or something. And I took tires at the pit stop, and he might not have. So
he did not.
Yeah. So yeah, that's too bad. But second's really good. And I didn't really have the pace of those guys for the whole race, so I'll take it.
Yeah, you were eating up chunks of time. I noticed that you had a bit of a different line into turn 1 than everyone else. You were kind of taking it dangerously wide there. Is that something that you've learned from just lap after lap practicing here, that there is an ability to take that turn 1 entrance a lot wider than most people do?
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'm not really sure if it's how much faster it really is, but you don't get an off track or a slowdown or anything, so I figured I'll use it because it kind of opens up the entry. So,
yeah. At one point in your closing laps, as you were, and you can go back and watch the stream on this, but as you were kind of closing laps on Dan Mack there at the end, I think in that corner alone, 0.4 of a second that you were faster than him, because of course he's nursing some very worn tires that are probably hard to accelerate off that Andretti hairpin, and you shaved the deficit 0.4 just there alone. So whatever line you were taking through was definitely making you faster than everyone else. So congrats on spotting that out. I might have to actually try that myself. I don't think it's going to help me perform as well as you, though. While we got you here, yet another great finish. We got one more week to Championship Thursday on the oval at Gateway. Your thoughts on Gateway?
I ran some officials there this week. And I really enjoyed it. I didn't like it at first, like hot lapping, but in the race it's a lot more fun, so it should be a fun one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rhythm track, and if you road courses are a lot like that too, and I think it might suit your style pretty well. Any shout outs do you have? Anybody want to say hi to while we got you here?
Just the usual, friends and family. Yeah.
All right. There you go, at Friends and Family. He says hi. One more race to go. We will see you next week on Championship Thursday when we go to Gateway.
Yep, have a good one.
And let's bring up our winner. There he is. Dan Mack, you are on mute. Are you off mute? Yeah,
yes, I'm.
There he is. Congrats on the P1. By far the move was going fuel only on your pit stop there. When did you guys make that decision? Because I also know Janie did the same thing. When did you guys make that decision that you guys were just going to do fuel only?
Well, it actually stemmed from, I believe, race 2 in this series, where it was we just pitted. I won the race from not taking tires, so I decided the same thing again here. It'd probably be quicker because with the amount of laps that we had left, I just thought, might as well be fuel. And then Alex pitted, so I was like, yeah, nah, I don't think he's taking tires from where he came out. So I just decided to do the same thing. Managed to come out ahead of him, thankfully. And then, yeah, Johnny came out ahead of me as well, made a few mistakes. We just capitalized on them and ended up winning. So yeah, it was very fun.
How bad were those tires at the end? Yoshikawa was just chomping off large amounts of time those last couple laps.
They weren't actually too bad. Now I say that he was catching quite rapidly, but I just wanted to take it easy. I just wanted to make sure I was getting to the end. And then when we got to the corkscrew, I realized how close he was, and I was like, oh dear, please don't make a mistake. But we didn't. We didn't, so we're here.
We haven't seen it the last couple weeks, and that's unfortunate because you kind of started the season off in the series pretty hot. with those back-to-back wins. Are we going to see you at Gateway and possibly maybe next season here in the series?
Hopefully next season I'll be more prominent in the series. Hopefully next week I will be here as well. Just the last few months I've just had a lot of things going on with work and everything, so wasn't able to make it. But hopefully we can actually have a challenge next season.
Have you put any time in a Gateway yet with these cars, and what are your thoughts?
No, not at all.
Not yet.
Have you got any advice? Any advice for me?
Gateway, they're two tracks. When I get on them, I typically don't like them, but I always tend to do well. And I think that because of their rhythm tracks, and it's Gateway and Phoenix, they're a lot alike, at least to me. If it's a good rhythm track, it's definitely not one of those tracks that you typical oval tracks where you just keep your foot in it and kind of just turn left. You do have to actually race the car there. And it's just the perfect size where you could probably utilize the draft to pull off passes going into certainly into turns 3 and 4. Turns 1 and 2, of course, it's a tighter end. That's the end that probably reminds you more of turns 1 and 2 at Phoenix. And that's a little bit more of the controlling end, so watch who you're behind. You can take multiple lines through there as well, so you don't get caught in the aero wash. But I would suspect, being a good road course racer you are, and someone that kind of races really good with the rhythm, that you will do pretty well there.
Hopefully I'll take your advice and I'll use it next week, hopefully.
Well, I am the defending champ there in the Turbo Series from last season, so I do speak with a little bit of experience there.
Well, no, since you said that, I hope I actually see you here next week. Otherwise, I'll be a bit disappointed.
Well, you got it, Dan Mack. Thanks for joining us this week. Congrats on the win, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Well, thank you very much. See you later.
Bye. And we didn't give him a chance to shout out Team Renovo, but we know that you're watching. So Team Renovo, thank you very much for watching and everything that you guys have done for the series. You guys have been a big fan group, and we appreciate it. So wrapping up this penultimate race of the season, as you just heard from our winner, Dan Mack, P1, Yoshikawa P2, Janie P3, Alex Vanasant P4, Westshire P5. That wraps up your top 5. Your top 10 is Ragster, who had unfortunately that speeding penalty. Matt Houston with a very solid top 10 with a 7th there. Defending champ making his debut in the series this season with the number 1 James Watson, finished P8. Simon Feld P9. Logan Spath and P10. Rounding out your top 15 is Cosgrove, Alex Teeter, James Curtis, Daniel Smith, and Michael Hannekamp. So folks, we now have one more race to go, and that is next week at Gateway. So you can join us all here next week, same time, same channel, everything, and we might actually have James Watson joining us in the booth to cheer on the person that's going to take the crown from him for Season 2 champion here of the Daredevil Turbo Series. I want to thank everybody for watching from home, everybody watching from the Daredevil locations, and we want to definitely thank Daredevil Brewery for themselves for being such an important part of our series this season. Everybody, if you have a chance, make sure to give them your business. Like I said, if you do visit, eat a lot, but drink responsibly. Thanks again for those folks at Daredevil for being such generous in their support of the Turbo Series. And that is it. We want to thank everybody for watching once again. One more week to go. We will crown a champion next week. It is at Gateway, so no more road courses. We got one oval to decide it all. If you've joined us through the entire season, thanks for joining us for the long haul, as we say. Everybody watching, have a great night, great weekend. All those serving, Godspeed and come home safe. And we will catch you all in a week at Gateway here on the Turbo Series, Daredevil Turbo Series here on Raceverse. Good night, folks.